What is up, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Movies, coming to you from Sacramento, California. This is our main show, Apocaflix Now. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and you can see we're doing things a little bit differently. The host is sitting at the controls today, and that is because Mr. Jake Berlin is out of town or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's on assignment.
Yeah, he's on assignment. And I am joined by Brian Avalosino and Keith Barnes. How's it going, guys?
Going good.
You ready to get started?
Ready
Apocaflix Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Halloween edition.
Halloween.
I guess we talked about candy last time,
Yeah.
which was fun. Keith brought up that topic.
I did.
Which he ended up not even being.
I know,
Uh,
yeah, unfortunately.
that's right. Yeah, I forgot we did a remix. So this is like
We cut you out.
Yeah. So there's a secret show that we did that
Only we know about.
laptops. Yeah. It's out in the ether now. It'll never be.
Never be.
Yeah. Deleted scenes.
Literally.
If this thing was real, I would snap sour cream out of existence. That's one of the sour cream and Nutella.
Wow.
Okay.
And the reason
I was
Hold
okay
on a
with you
second.
for sour cream, but then you said Nutella. And
Nutella, gone.
then.
And the reason I bring that up, I ate something last night. I went to Denny's, which was probably my first mistake.
Yeah.
I was at Denny's late last night, and I was just eating something, and then I ate it was a big thing of nachos that someone got, and I was eating something, and I accidentally picked up one and ate it with a big old thing of sour cream on it. And if anybody that knows me knows, I just
you
detest.
You don't like sour cream?
No.
Wow.
I violently dislike sour
That's
cream.
interesting.
And guacamole. Hate them both.
I hate guacamole too.
Okay, good.
You guys are crazy.
I'm not. I can deal with sour cream, but I don't. I'm never gonna.
I
add
love
it to
sour
something.
cream on my tacos, my nachos,
Oh God.
quesadillas.
That's the worst.
Oh my goodness.
The worst.
I've
I'll
never
eat
heard
it if I
anyone
don't know
say
it's
that.
there, but I'm never gonna add it.
I'll find it. No, if I'm eating something.
Nutella, I will literally sit and eat out of the jar.
I hate
Oh my goodness.
Nutella and fruit, or just straight Nutella with a spoon. What? Judgy?
Nothing. So Brian, what would you snap out of existence?
I don't know. That's it on the spot. I was gonna say, the first thing that came to my mind was the old DC movies when Jacob
Oh
or Gio
my
would punch me in the
goodness.
face.
No.
Just start it over.
You
Start
mean
it
like
over.
the Batman v Superman and Suicide
It
Squad?
literally was the first thing popped in my
Oh
mind. I
my
don't know
goodness.
why.
Well, there you go. Brian's going to use the Marvel Infinity Gauntlet
Just
to
what-
snap
great.
the DCEU out of existence.
Not the DCU. Just everything up until I'll say Wonder Woman.
Not Man of Steel,
Man of
though.
Steel.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything,
Fine, Batman,
in
Justice
between-
League, probably Suicide
everything
Squad.
in between Man of Steel and Wonder Woman.
Pretty much. That's what I was thinking.
And then Justice League.
Yeah, snap Justice
Yeah,
League.
yeah.
Let's
Just
maybe
keep
Justice League.
Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Shazam.
Yeah,
I like all four of those
Yeah,
movies.
Yeah, those are okay.
Love Shazam.
That's a good. Man, for me, I
I
What
want
food?
that's
What
tough.
food would you?
Oh, snap.
what food?
Would you just snap away?
You know, I've gotten a lot more open-minded as an adult, but I used to hate onions.
Oh, same here.
I used to
Yeah,
hate
me too.
onions,
Oh,
and
snap.
that would have been my first choice.
I actually did something for the first time. I ate a hamburger with onions on it. Well, probably like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Never done it before. No, I know. That's how I usually was. But I was so hungry. I just bit into it, and I was like, yeah, all right. And
All right, I would snap out, and not completely, but I would snap out the idea of putting pickles on hamburgers. I hate pickles on hamburgers, but I like pickles by themselves.
I
So
hate
pickles will still exist, but I would snap. Like, no one would ever think to ever put pickles on hamburgers. It would just be
Crazy.
something that you would never do.
Yeah.
That would be my
So
choice.
many people don't like that. I love.
Well, there you go, everyone. Let us know what you would snap out of existence. Brian's gonna snap out of the DCEU out of existence.
Because I care about it so much.
Keith is
I
gonna
want them to
snap
read
sour
it.
cream out of existence.
And
I'm
Nutella.
gonna I'm gonna snap pickles on cheeseburgers out of existence. Now I kind of want a cheeseburger after this.
Yeah, no.
To be honest. Well, today we have a few things to talk about, but our biggest story to begin the show is going to be what we're watching lately, like we always do. I have been watching the same stuff I've been watching lately, such as the Arrowverse and the and I watched the Watchmen premiere last week. And
who watches the Watchmen? We watch the Watchmen.
Yes, exactly.
Soon to
And
be you.
I liked the Watchmen episode. I thought it was interesting. See, I don't know much about the Watchmen lore.
That's
my
problem.
I've never read Watchmen. My only experience with Watchmen is through the movies. And through the movie, and there was like a couple years ago there was a DC comic storyline where the Watchmen were being infused into the real DC comics, and that they were intertwined. Yeah, the rebirth thing. And I read a whole bunch of like Harley Quinn comics, Batman comics leading into the rebirth, but I never got into the Watchmen stuff. It was taking too long to get into.
Yeah.
So I don't know much. So I have no idea if this Watchmen story, whatever the first episode is about, has anything to do with the original Watchmen.
It does, but it's an alternate alternate universe. I can't speak because I don't know too much.
Does anything going on in there have anything to do with Watchmen?
Yeah, some stuff does. Jeremy Irons' character is, I guess, a Watchman. Watchman.
Yeah, I'm just a little confused because at the end of the episode they show. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for Keith.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
I'm just confused because to me, if I would have watched that, I wouldn't have. Other than a few little things here and there, I wouldn't have even thought that it was a Watchmen episode if I would have watched it without somebody telling me.
I got that sense watching the trailers as well. I'm wondering, it's obviously set in modern, or set, not the old one set in the 80s, but this looks like it's set kind of modern.
I don't think it's in modern day.
I don't think it's in modern day either.
Really? It looked like it. The police cars looked like they were like Chargers.
I don't know. I'm so confused by it, but I know that I really liked it. And Regina King kicks.
She looks great.
Yeah, she's good in it.
She's the best part of that show.
It's very brutal and dark. You know how it kind of opens with a flashback?
Yeah.
And then the first scene in modern day is crazy. And I was like, whoa. So I'll say this. I didn't love it. I'm not dying to watch the next episode, but it was good enough for me to check in this week.
It's funny because I wouldn't say I love it, but I really enjoy it, and I actually really am looking. So maybe I do love it. I guess I'm like really looking forward to seeing the next episode. It's weird. When I was done watching it, I was so confused because I'm so trying to figure out what's going on because I don't know the Watchmen lore. But I went on.
You've seen the movie, right? You seen the movie?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I went on Twitter, and Twitter, a lot of people were like blowing up the tweets, and like that helped me better understand it. Like I still don't, I vaguely use the term understand, but like, I think I enjoyed it more after I watched it and went on Twitter and saw what people were saying, and that made me appreciate it more and go, oh, that's what that was. Oh, that was, so maybe try that. But it was just bad. Regina King's soul is amazing in this show.
This is the only thing I want to know. Any reference to Ozymandias and what he did?
I think so.
Really?
I don't remember because I don't know. I don't really know the characters that well.
I don't recall anything like that. But I do know the trailer showed some interesting things. Didn't they show who's the one dude, like the most powerful being?
Dr. Manhattan.
Didn't they show him like crash landing on the moon and in the trailer?
I saw something
that was like living on the moon or something.
It was literally a quick second. No, he's on Mars.
Mars,
yeah.
Mars.
And he built it's no spoiler.
A big
because they showed it in the trailer. Yeah.
He built a castle out of like the sand of Mars.
So that's where he.
And literally, if you blink, you miss it. It's literally just like
I remember. It's a quick shot. Yeah.
Was that it? I was like,
but that makes me think it's getting into these bigger things later on.
Well,
it's very small scale right now.
Yeah, And there's a lot of little things. If you aren't paying attention completely, you will miss it.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, I wish you would have watched it.
Yeah, that's why I have questions. But
I'm not gonna say anything, but we'll have to maybe.
It's all good. I mean, I get the sense overall we enjoyed it and we're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it tomorrow because do you like Regina King?
Yes,
normally?
right.
She kicks ass in this show. That bed scene, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was the best. And she has the single greatest one-liners in this show. Listen for a Bleach line. That's all I'm gonna say. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, Brian definitely enjoyed it more than me.
Yeah. So.
I just love the gruesomeness. It does not hold back.
Yeah,
It does not hold back.
Well, and it's on HBO. You know,
Yeah,
they're able to do whatever they want.
So apparently, no, it's an hour.
Oh, it's an hour. Oh, okay.
It's an hour. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So maybe I guess I do love it.
Yeah, Brian loves it.
I love
There
it
you
without
go.
understanding what's going on.
And did you catch up on any of the Arrowverse shows?
Arrow was boring.
So you,
seriously.
I remember you said that.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
I don't.
I thought it was pretty good.
I don't know.
I'll tell you this. I liked episode 1 way more.
Me too.
Than episode 2, but I liked episode 2.
I like
They're
it.
going back and revisiting all these old characters that he interacted with, like China White,
Yeah.
which they had a
Katsu.
long. She was there since season 1.
She was.
China White.
Yeah, that part was cool.
And I love how he says like we've been going at this for years. Like it's kind of one of his nemesis is who's
Right.
still around,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
He is, and I love seeing Tatsu. I love that character back in season 3. I think we saw her in she plays a katana or whatever.
Yeah, because that's the same character from Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
isn't it? Is that her?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
so?
Her
That's
sword,
the same
she doesn't have a
character.
magic sword in the Arrow.
It's the same character.
The same character, yeah.
Like
Really?
literally
So-
like actress or
No, not same
Oh,
actress.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm saying she's playing the same
Yeah.
human character.
except like
Um,
he said she
'cause
doesn't have that sword.
I didn't know that was her. Watching the old Arrow episodes,
Yeah.
like I didn't know that was Katana. Did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
Maybe not.
It's just where she's got the thing.
She never, but that was the first
So
time
she
she
didn't
wore
do it
that.
till,
though.
yeah, it was after her husband.
Well, I knew it
passed.
was her in this episode, but she didn't. She's was back in the old seasons, and
Yeah, she did.
I
After
didn't know that was her until this episode.
She appeared in all those flashback scenes when he was on.
Yeah.
on Commons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I love her character. And that actress, she's in the Wolverine. She plays.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's the.
She gave him the greatest suit that's never.
Yeah, I enjoyed Arrow. I haven't watched all the episodes this week yet, though, but I did watch Arrow.
She watched Flash.
I did, yes. It was
Yeah,
cool.
Flash kind of. Yeah.
You can spoil it.
I'm less impressed with the Flash recently. Like,
Same here.
it used to be the best show on
Yes.
out of all the Arrow shows.
Yeah. I think
For a
Arrow's-
while.
Arrow's
Now,
back over.
I think they've just kind of infused some energy into Arrow just because it's the last season, which is good. You know, it's
Oh, right,
I
it's
like
like
it.
13 episodes or whatever. So. Yeah.
So I feel like they're putting a lot of effort
10?
into it.
Oh wow.
But
Well,
yeah,
it's interesting. In episode 1, like Earth 2 was destroyed, right? That's
yes,
huge.
that's
Yeah, that was big.
That was a big thing.
Yeah,
There was no reference to that in Flash. I don't know if they.
In Batman, Arrow, we see Laurel going through it. And that,
wait,
I like
aren't Jesse Quick and Wells from Earth
That's
2?
what I'm saying. Yes, that's what I mean. That's a big deal.
Like, are they
Yes,
dead?
I guess so.
I
That's
didn't
what I'm
even think
saying.
about
That's
that
why.
until
That's
now.
why I was like, that's a big deal when that
Wow.
happened. And I figured like there would be some repercussions for that on the Flash.
I wouldn't be
But I don't know
surprised
if they
if, because it's totally possible they were on another Earth at
Yeah.
the time, or
Yeah, right.
Jesse got them out, or they have
Little things.
transporter
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So you don't think as soon as they noticed that they got out of there? I think
Maybe.
if any character that they would,
Yeah.
they're always traveling
Yeah,
Earths, and Jesse could probably run fast enough to
Sure.
get out of there.
Yeah.
So I think it's a possibility, but they need to address that.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
they're dead, they need to address it.
Because Earth 2 was the
Yeah.
first one they.
Oh, so do you like the new Wells?
I'm curious to see what he
We
is.
barely got enough of
That's what
him.
I'm saying. I'm curious to see. He's
But-
kind of.
Yeah, he's
Adventure.
like an Indiana Jones type character. It's funny.
And he's looking for something. We don't know. They did the tease.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. And
It's so funny. I always end up liking the Wells character, like every single time, and I don't expect to. I'm always, every single time I roll my eyes, I say another Wells,
Starts off with
and then I end up liking them, which is crazy.
Tom Cavanaugh, he's great. I've always liked him since he was on that show Ed. Which is, I don't think remember that show? I thought he was great. He was on Scrubs too. But he does a good job playing all the different versions of this Harrison.
Who was? It's one they called HR. Did they call him?
Yeah, HR. He was one. He's from like Earth, like.
Is that what they called him? HR.
Yeah.
Man, that one was.
He was the one that
sacrificed himself to save Iris. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We know how much Jake loves Iris.
Oh man, she's getting worse and worse.
Well, she's. I was always based on her. I thought she grew on me. She became a good character for me.
No, at first she wasn't. Then she did become, and now she's just. Well, Jake and I agree. She's becoming kind of annoying. Like she involved out on the field.
Yeah.
When she shouldn't be risking her life like that. Right. She doesn't have any superpowers or anything, and like she tases the Wells guy and is like, "My name is Iris West Allen. You better not forget it." Like, there's no need for that.
That was not.
There's no need for that.
Poorly written.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But.
Did you watch Batwoman?
I don't think I watched an episode yet. Yeah, not yet. Did you?
I didn't watch this week. No.
So it's on episode 3 now, right?
Coming up tomorrow, I think. Yeah. Right.
No, Batwoman's already out. It comes out on Tuesdays.
No, Sunday.
No. Oh yeah.
Batwoman and Supergirl, I think, are both Sunday.
Did you like the last episode?
Yeah, it was okay. It was a good one. It was This one, it wasn't like. I'm still holding on to that. What was the first episode that was really good?
I think it was the second one that we liked.
I still love. Oh yeah, second one. I still love. Her sister. Alice.
Yeah.
The girl that plays Alice is perfect for the show. I'm curious to see how long that can last.
It'll probably be a season 1 long villain, and then she'll get locked up, and then she'll come back later. You know, they're not going to kill her. The character's too important. Yeah.
Although, wait, have you watched it? She finally distinguishes herself from Batman. So like they know that that's not Batman. And there's a nice little.
No, I did watch that episode actually. Was that the last episode?
The red one. Yeah. So wait, you did watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you even watch it? Have you watched it?
I watched the first 20 minutes of the first one, and that's it.
Then I won't spoil it for you.
All right, well, that'll do it for our catching up on what we've been watching segment. I'm sure we'll follow up and talk about those shows next week, and hopefully we get a couple.
Have you been watching Resistance?
New releases under our belts. Yes,
yeah.
I have. It's all right. It's I think it's gonna get better near the end.
Last week was filler episode.
I feel like they've all been filler episodes so far. So. Yeah. We'll see. So moving on to our hot take of the week. Now that the Joker is out and it's doing big things, we decided that we were going to speculate and talk about what villain could get the next Joker treatment. Basically, who's a villain, and it doesn't have to be comic book movies. It can be anything within geek culture or film, quite honestly. It can be a random, Hans Gruber origin story if you really wanted to. Just for example, it doesn't have to be something superhero or Star Wars.
You can't. Shame on you for even saying that, since he's not alive anymore. No one can ever play him.
The young one.
No.
No, but Hans Gruber is amazing as a villain. So we all chose a villain that we think should get this next Joker treatment, and I hope everyone has a backup, because I have a backup.
I have 2.
Just in case somebody takes one of ours. So let's jump into it. Let's go to you, Brian, so no one steals yours, because you always have the most basic idea. So
it's true. Should I say both of them?
No, just say one.
What do you want? My backup, or you want my
number
one?
What is your number one?
My number
and
one.
And then we'll talk about backups after we all 3 go.
My number one. Said to you, I almost picked Darth Vader, but I was like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Have we not seen a Darth Vader origin story?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But that led me to Palpatine. I would love to see his upbringing.
You mother effer. That was mine!
Yeah!
Oh, I should have went first. No, that's fine. I have a backup. Hopefully, Keith doesn't take my backup.
You probably thought about it more than I did. Do you want me to say my other?
No. You chose Palpatine.
Okay,
why?
So,
why do you want to see Palpatine?
First off, he's been around since the very beginning,
and we're getting the Rise of Skywalker.
He's going to be around to the end.
Yeah.
I would almost dare to say his upbringing would probably be more enticing than Darth Vader's. Like, I mean, can you imagine like him starting out from like a young kid to like Darth Plagueis to then him killing Darth Plagueis and like all of that would be nuts.
Yeah.
I would just be interested to see how the way he came up as a politician. Like when at what point did he become a Sith apprentice and when did he start to interweave that into his political career and how because that would be interesting. We got a little bit of that in the Tarkin novel. A little bit.
A little teeny bit.
Yeah. But
see, my thing is like, no one could play him other than Ian McDermott.
Everybody kept saying Tom Hiddleston for a long time.
No, there's people who could play him.
You think?
I think so.
Tom Hiddleston would do great.
We still don't know who Matt Smith is.
That's
think
true.
he might be him in
That's true.
episode.
I think a lot of actors would love to play that role and would kill it, to be honest. Like a Tom Hiddleston, that would be amazing.
He said no one will ever play him other than me. Like, he was like very adamant about it. I remember him saying that in an interview.
Yeah, it's
like,
not his choice.
That's my
though.
character. I know. But, yeah. I mean, God, he's got such a good backstory that, like, they could do so much. You can make a trilogy off that.
So that was my number one choice, but I do have a backup. I would love that because, for several reasons, I did the Darth Plagueis audiobook, and I tell it's honestly, it's a young Palpatine novel.
Right.
That book, and it's not canon, it's Legends, but they have taken from Legends and adapted it in the real canon, and you have to, if you're interested in that, you have to audiobook the book, because they're gonna, once they get into Darth Plagueis and Palpatine, young Palpatine, they're gonna cherry pick from this novel for sure. And it is so well done. Palpatine is like a young 19, 20-year-old, just kind of spoiled, rich, smart young man going into politics. Right. And Darth Plagueis meets him, and he can sense that something, and Darth Plagueis kind of manipulates him in a way, not as heavily as Palpatine influences Anakin, but Darth Plagueis sends him down a path to end up being his apprentice, and there's some brutal stuff in that novel, like things that Palpatine does to people in his life, and it's almost, it kind of reminds me of, you know, a young Sith duo story, but also like a serial killer story in a way as well.
See, my thing is, I've wanted to read a lot of these Legends books, but I feel like I'm gonna get really pissed off that they're not canon anymore because they're so good, and that's why I stay away from them.
I feel the same way, and I'm personally gonna stay away from most of them because I don't like. There's so much canon stuff. I only want to wrap my head around that. But I'm telling you, this Darth Plagueis novel is worth reading.
There's two that have always interested me. That book and the Thrawn trilogy.
Well, that, I also want to do Darth Bane and the Rule of Two.
And those ones.
Because I want to learn more about that.
Because Thrawn is my all-time favorite character at this point right now. I would be really pissed off if those 3 books are better than the ones that we have, which I've heard they are. So, like, that's kind of where I get afraid to touch the Legend stuff because
I know what you mean, yeah.
But I
think for me is I wanted to learn more about Palpatine, and even though it's not canon, this was still influenced by the ideas that they had going around, and I'm pretty sure George Lucas was like aware of the stories that they were telling and kind of like, I don't want to say approving it, and I don't know, but almost like approving the storylines, because he did always say that at the time that the movies are real history of what happened, but then the novels are kind of like people
fantasy.
people telling those stories, like
Fanfic.
it's as if someone was telling a reoccurrence of what happened, and it just kind of, it's not 100% fact. It's kind of like a game of telephone where it's the story's been told 100 times that like we don't know what really happened, so it's kind of vague. But
I've
obviously,
heard people clamor saying that book should be canon.
I think it should be, but
Wasn't it the last? It's the last one, right? Before the.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them adapting it somehow.
They
because
still might though.
It's so good, and I love Coruscant, my favorite Star Wars planet ever, and I want there to be a Disney Plus show or something like that taking place on Coruscant, and it could be because it's a lot of Darth Plagueis takes place on Coruscant because it's a lot of young Palpatine as a politician, and it shows you like a series of 10 years plus of how he grows into where he becomes in the prequels, and it actually goes into the prequels, and Darth Plagueis is still alive during Episode 1 in that novel, and George Lucas like knew about it. He was
Interesting.
Welcome to the Padawan podcast.
I know,
Yeah.
basically. So Keith, what was your choice for your villain treatment? But good choice, Brian. Obviously, that was my number one.
Yeah.
This is why we choose me first, because you saw right out from under me.
I know we already gotta go to
Yeah.
back up. Well, mine is one that I was gonna say it's really kind of already been done, sort of, but
If you say Joker, I'm
I'd
gonna
like
slap
to see.
you.
No. It started off as I'll just say it's Magneto, but
I was thinking about that one.
and I know X-Men First Class was that. First Class started off. I know it was originally going to be a Magneto story, and then it just evolved into what it evolved into. But and we got a lot of it in that. Fassbender was great, but I'd like to see a just Magneto story of him with the new deal now with what do you call it? It was the X-Men being in the MCU now. I think they're going to have to change his origin.
They literally
Clearly,
he would be
They definitely will.
he'd be
Yeah.
80 something
Right.
at least.
Right, and so I would love to see his. I love that relationship with him and Charles.
There's so many things you can do with American history,
Right.
and make him. He was an adult in the 80s,
Right.
you know.
You don't even have to use American history. You can use some type of
Or
genocide from
something.
That's absolutely, yeah, from anything in the world,
Right.
and use that in place of the Holocaust, you know,
Right.
and say that he was a victim of.
Oh, that's
whatever
really
it is.
perfect accent.
Yeah, exactly. And that because he has to have those same core values that,
the reasons he
you know,
believes in.
one race or, you know, mutants getting suppressed by another,
Right.
you know,
But the
other
idea
people
of
who think they're
his
superior, you know.
distrust of mankind,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
the
yeah.
idea of mutants being superior, you know, because a lot of Magneto's reasonings for doing what he does, you're like, I hear you, you know,
Yeah,
but
like Thanos.
no, Thanos is a bad guy, but see, I don't think Magneto's bad necessarily. He will just he wants to live in. You look at his what's it called, Genosha, whatever his mutant country.
Oh,
He just wants to just leave us alone, and you know, we'll be fine. You know, but people are always kind of after him, and he does start trouble here and there, but but sometimes. But no, I'd love to see a Magneto story, but that's already really kind of like I said.
they'll do it again.
Yeah,
They'll do it quick and a new version.
right.
Because they have to.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, that's literally the reason he is how he is.
Right.
But they'll change it to some other, because he's European, so I'm sure they'll find some
There's plenty of
some
terrible
type
stuff.
of
Yeah.
horrible thing going
Right.
on. They'll give a quick backstory of why he's always pissed off, why he thinks this way, and then
Right.
they'll move on.
Yeah.
Basically how they did in X-Men,
Yeah.
except just not the Holocaust.
Yeah. So yeah.
Alright, what's your backup?
So this was actually my first choice until I
Said it.
thought of the Palpatine one. And we've talked about this a lot before, but I would, sticking to Marvel and characters that just got back, Doctor Doom. I would love to see
You'll get that.
a Doctor Doom origin story. And I know they're already, there was, I forget who it was, but
Somebody was doing
he was
that.
working on a script.
Created Legion.
They've been working, yes.
Yeah.
They've been working on a script, and it's not official yet because he was working on it before the Disney
He
merger,
finished.
right?
Was it Lindelof?
I'm gonna look it up.
It was he finished it before he was working on it before the Disney acquisition.
Right.
But supposedly, is it Noah Hawley?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And he's been supposedly there were whispers that he had talked to Kevin Feige and like Kevin Feige told him like wanted to hear what he had, which even if they don't make a straight up movie, they might use things from his script for the character.
Yeah.
For me, there has to be a lot you can do with a character. I mean, it depends, but you can do so much with the Doctor Doom character, and I wouldn't mind this being the first Fantastic Four character that we meet in the universe because.
Well, he'd be a overarching villain.
The typical thing would be to go, let's do a Fantastic Four movie, but why not do a Doctor Doom movie? Maybe even introduce Reed Richards in that film, and maybe just Reed Richards, and then you can just tell the story. And I would love to see, kind of like Wakanda, where he has his
Latveria.
He has his country, Latveria, because he's a villain. He has bad intentions, right? His country would be kind of like this, this bad country, if you will, like a country where someone like Wakanda would have to go to war with in the future.
You want to know what I bet you they'll do? They'll put Latveria near Sokovia and say there was some repercussion from it.
Something like that.
And
the thing is, why this works also is, I don't think that. He has to only be a Fantastic Four villain.
Yeah.
He's an Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
Villain.
He
Everyone's
can be a big villain, but I would want him first to face the Fantastic Four because that's just classic, right? And then eventually become a bigger threat or something like that. Because the thing is, he's not the most, like Thor could probably beat him easily, but I'm just saying he's able through his technology and his smarts, and if they dive into him becoming a sorcerer, then that's the thing, because in the comics he becomes a sorcerer, and if that happens, he's going to be unstoppable. Real quick, I know it's kind of on the spot, but who would you guys choose to star in your role?
That's Doctor Doom?
Well, alright, so for all of our choices,
Oh. Dreamworld de-aged Ian McDermott. But, I mean, Tommy Hiddleston wouldn't be a horrible choice. Now that you guys said it.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't do wrong. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind him. If I had to choose a new actor, I wouldn't mind him.
Okay. Keith for Magneto?
That's tough to think about because I keep, in my head, I just keep picturing Fassbender.
Right? He's so perfect for Magneto.
He really
I told Jake a while ago that they should just keep James Magneto and start him again.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would love to see that. But I couldn't think of anyone else, to be honest, because he was so... I don't think... Depends on...
If they redo him, I don't think he's going to be full-on white guy. I don't think they're going to go outlandish and be like I don't know, like an Asian Magneto or something.
Well, yeah.
But I don't think he'll be
Well, a lot of people were throwing around Giancarlo Esposito, which I think that would be interesting.
That's Magneto?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like him.
I think... I don't know. I think I could think of something better.
Yeah.
I kind of want somebody younger.
They definitely will go younger with these two.
Well, again, it depends on the
They
backstory.
did younger, though, with Fassbender and McAvoy.
Right.
Yeah, but those are characters you're going to want around for a while.
That's true.
Especially those two.
But they went older, obviously, with McKellen and Stewart. And it worked, because they're not going to be jumping around doing
I really...
Especially Big Xavier.
Yeah,
he ain't jumping anywhere.
It's true.
I heard somebody say this before, I think it was online or something, but I would love for Denzel to play Magneto.
That's what they've been saying.
I would love that. Yeah. Can you imagine his speeches and his anger? Oh, it would be so good.
Wow.
It'd be so good. Yeah.
I'd rather see him as a villain in Black Panther. Can you imagine him versus Chadwick Boseman in some type of... Oh my god.
You mean
I'm sorry.
Denzel? Well,
Yeah.
Doctor Doom can be the villain of
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Very
Yeah,
much.
you said him for Magneto. Are you talking?
Oh no,
yeah.
sorry, that's what I meant. Oh, Magneto could be a villain for Black Panther.
Sure.
He totally could.
Yes.
Yeah, he can.
And
Can he manipulate vibranium?
so vibranium's a metal. That's what I'm saying. And
Okay,
yeah.
now you're warming me up to
a lot. So I didn't come up with this idea, but I was actually watching another internet show, and another fan said this. But they were saying, like, what if, Magneto is from another African country, and it's someone Denzel playing him, and he's like pissed at Wakanda for having all this wealth and all this technology and not helping the rest of Africa. So he goes after them, and because of his powers, how can they mess with him if he's able to manipulate vibranium? That he'd be unstoppable.
Wow.
Which I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be.
But speaking of Doctor Doom, I would love Leonardo DiCaprio to play Doctor Doom, but he would never do it. Why do you make that face, Brian?
I think Matthew McConaughey would be dope as Doctor Doom.
So DiCaprio's so picky. He would probably never do it. But you would be upset if they cast
Spider-Man.
DiCaprio.
I feel like he would be too big for the movie. Is that weird?
I know what you're saying,
Like,
but I would still.
You're looking at him and being like, it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah,
would
like
love
almost
it.
like he, as an actor, outshines the role.
If he did it, he would do such a good job, though. He would.
Oh yeah.
Because then you better have some damn good cast people for Fantastic Four if they're gonna fight Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he would steal the spotlight from Fantastic Four easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but you want good guys to be your staple, not just him.
It's true, but it depends on the way.
But that's because so he would obviously be in a Fantastic Four movie eventually. I think it would help the Fantastic Four movie, even if the four cast members are unknowns, like not unknowns, but less popular than him. Just having him in there would be a huge thing. And do you really think?
Can't be from the
Look,
country of Texas? So.
Do you really think a lot of people are gonna run out and see Doctor Doom movie? Like, it's not gonna make $100 million opening weekend.
Brad Pitt.
But if you cast DiCaprio, it might. Honestly, I really think it would have the potential
Brad
to.
Pitt.
That would be my number one choice, but I know that's never gonna happen.
Both of them. See,
He was an invisible character in Deadpool. He was a mask.
All right, well, let's move on to our buy or sell segment where we got a few trailers here and a couple news stories. First up, we're gonna list these 3 trailers, and we only get to buy one of them, and that means we're selling the rest. So first up, we have the Vin Diesel movie Bloodshot, based on the comic book, and we have the second trailer for Antlers, the Guillermo del Toro. I think he's producing it. Yeah. And then The Aeronauts, starring Felicity Jones and what's his name? Eddie Redmayne. A reunion there from The Theory of Everything, which I fell in love with Felicity Jones in that movie. So that's pretty cool. So let's go to you, Keith. Out of these 3 trailers, which one are you buying?
Not Antlers, because I don't care. What's happening in that? What is even happening?
I don't know.
Okay, so the kid finds a weird monster.
I think that creature is his father.
Dad?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he says that at the end, and then something happened to his dad, and he's a creature now, and he's hunting to feed his father. It's kind of sweet.
I'm not surprised he's defending.
I guess.
I actually like the trailer. I think it's not my choice, but it looks amazing.
I like with the music and all the sounds, all the sound effects, the way they're incorporating it into the music. But
Yeah.
I don't care. But another a-hole kid, like I mentioned.
No, the kid's not doing anything.
He was killing innocent animals that were adorable.
To
feed a monster that's also killing other.
Yeah, so
Probably people.
what if that monster, he's preventing the monster from killing people because he's feeding him?
No.
Yeah.
No way.
That kid,
Killing little
So
No.
that's why he's locked in
The
a
kid is not-
safe
the
room.
kid is not bad in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
No.
He's gonna protect the
He's
monster.
trying to save his dad. It's
Kid's
his
gonna be
dad.
killed by his dad.
It's a bright
Wow, you guys are heartless, man.
Is that what you chose?
No.
Okay.
I was about to walk out of here about the one you choose.
That trailer looks good. You guys are tripping, but that's not my first choice.
I'm buying Aeronauts. I think, even though I'm still mixed on Eddie Redmayne. Him and his kind of just always looking off into the distance here, looking away. Kind of, like, dude, he's a good actor, I guess. But no, he is a good actor. Not a guess. He is. But yeah, but it looks like his
Yeah, he needs to stop playing
character.
the same character.
Stop mugging. Yeah, he's always kind of just speak to someone. Look at someone and speak to them. So this is weird acting choices he makes, but Felicity Jones is great, and I guess are these people trying to set the? It's not quite Around the World in 8 Days, but it kind of looks like it.
I like how it was like it's a true story, but we don't know what.
I've never actually heard this, so but it looks interesting, and you said about Felicity Jones, and they have some pretty good on-screen chemistry, so I'm curious about this one. So yeah, I'll take that. I'll buy Aeronauts.
Yeah, that's actually my choice too. Bloodshot looks crazy
It does.
and ridiculous.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that one. I did like the Antlers trailer, but the Aeronauts is you have these two leading the movie. I agree with you on Eddie Redmayne. I want him to come out of that box. He's always doing that same thing, and I just want to see him do something different because I do think he's a great actor. And I was one of the few people who agreed with him winning the Oscar that year for The Theory of Everything.
I agree.
And well, no, because everybody wanted Michael Keaton to win for Birdman, and I was like, he's great in Birdman.
I thought the Redman was great.
But
I agree.
the thing is, just because so Eddie Redmayne transformed his whole entire body and just was like it was crazy, and Michael Keaton was amazing, but he was like kind of playing a hyper version of himself in a way. So I just thought everyone, like a lot of people was like, oh, Keaton should have won that for sure, and maybe, but I just thought Redmayne deserved that. And I noticed them both in the same movie, Theory of Everything, Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones. They're amazing, and I'm glad to see them working together again. And it looks like she's the lead of this movie, though.
Kinda.
And I love that. I think it looks really cool, and I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. It's like Castaway in the hot air balloon, which looks interesting. So yes, that is my choice. I'm buying Aeronauts and selling the rest.
I would rather save my money than I'll watch any of these, but I will say Aeronauts strictly for Felicity Jones. Like, she was the only thing that even, like, when I saw her, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, if she wasn't in it, I probably would have been like, no. But when she's in something, it makes me pay attention a little bit more. I mean, we literally all picked the same or the same one, so what else is there?
I am interested in Bloodshot, and I think
God, that trailer. I wish my face was the one that got shot like that after watching that trailer.
If we're talking about just the trailer, and you said it right after, like, okay, we saw the whole movie.
Yeah, we saw the whole movie.
It's just, it's nothing we haven't.
Looks like a movie we've seen 100 times.
I always wanted to read, but I've never read it. I think, is it an Image?
I think so.
I actually, so it looks ridiculous, but I actually think the concept is pretty cool.
Yeah, the concept is cool.
They keep rewriting this guy's memories and making him think somebody killed his wife, and they keep changing the target, or the person who kills his wife, and making it the target that they want him to kill. That's pretty cool, but I don't know, I just can't, I can't take Vin Diesel serious in this movie.
I think that trailer sucked.
Yeah.
And that hurt it a little bit too.
I just wish Vin Diesel was, because he's like the same character, and he's Dom Toretto and everything. Yeah. And I love Vin Diesel.
Or Triple X.
I love Vin Diesel, and I love
the same character.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to see Vin Diesel like play a different type of character, and he's just always this hard, grizzled guy who's the toughest. And I mean, I guess that's his brand, right? It's kind of like The Rock. The Rock is literally the same person in every movie, except a few. A few. The Rock's a better actor than Vin Diesel. But what I'm saying is that The Rock in all these action movies, he's the same guy.
In his action movies, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty
But I'm not saying like
And
Pain and
the
Gain is a different character. Like Pain and Gain is a different character,
Right.
and Snitch he's a different
Snitch,
character.
right.
He's good in those movies, but I don't know.
Football coach, one where he's the football coach.
Like this movie would intrigue me if it had a different actor leading it. To be honest, and
Probably.
I don't want to talk crap about Vin Diesel, but
Jason Statham. Jason Statham was.
All people would be going like, "Oh, he just went on the face." If it was Jason.
but I do really love the concept. I thought that was
The
interesting.
concept's a pretty cool idea, but I agree with you on the Vin Diesel comment.
Alrighty, well, we all bought the Aeronauts, and we're definitely, I guess we're not watching those other movies. I'll probably check out Antlers in theaters when it comes
You
out.
definitely will. Watch the others.
And I told you, Brian, I'm not watching Countdown.
I literally offered him free early screening press passes, and he turned me down.
That movie
So-
looks so
So
stupid.
when I saw the Will Smith movie,
They need to
Gemini, I saw the trailer
stop
for that.
making
And I'm
these
just like, what is this?
countdown,
I
Ouija
think-
board type movies.
I
They're
think Screen Rant gave it half a star.
Really?
Yeah, I
half a star too much.
I was like, ouch.
it, like quite honestly, looks like the worst movie
What
ever
is
made.
this?
Like
Yeah.
it looks like it.
I
to be
tried so
honest.
hard to make
No.
to get him
You even
free. I was
offered
like,
me
hey.
free because you said I guarantee you're going to see that, and then you offered me free tickets trying to tempt me to go. No.
Free early screening press pass tickets. No.
All right. Well, for our first news story, we have the Joker passes Deadpool as the highest-grossing R-rated movie ever. It barely surpassed it. It's made up to 788 million worldwide, where Deadpool has made 785 million worldwide, and this was from a couple days ago, so it probably has gotten more since then. Basically, do you guys like this? Do you like that Joker surpassed Deadpool?
I'm not. Are you surprised
That's a lot, kind of.
for a Joker movie?
that much
If it was any
yeah.
other character, I would.
Yeah,
not
I
be
would not
surprised.
have. I would not have thought this.
Or I wouldn't
movie
be surprised.
Would be this big.
I did. All the negative criticism it got only made people want to go see it more.
Maybe.
All the like,
Yeah.
we need extra security at the movie theaters. This
Which
movie's gonna
was-
drive you
that
crazy.
Was,
blah blah blah.
That was ridiculous.
That only made people go see it more.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not
Curiosity.
surprised. Yeah. So I'm not surprised in the
I
slightest.
think that's what boosted Venom. Honestly, I think was
Probably.
the curiosity factor. But
I
this
mean-
is way better than Venom. I'm not saying obviously, but
not even compared.
yeah.
I'm not surprised.
All right. You see what Ryan Reynolds see this? What
He tweeted, right?
yeah.
Yeah. What did he say?
I don't remember. I didn't see what it was, but I heard it was pretty funny.
It's I'll see if I can pull it up. But yeah, he just tweeted a little congratulatory thing. It's the image of poster image of him on the steps, kind of in that dancing pose.
Yeah.
And then he put "you mother effer," and then listed off all the R-rated movies underneath on the steps that were ahead of it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little surprised because I thought
Really?
this movie, because
Yeah, me too.
this movie is, look, Deadpool looks more like it is an action-packed comic book movie, right? Deadpool is closer to like the comic book movies that we're getting today, like the Avengers type movies, right? It's an action movie,
Yeah.
a character who's fighting all the time and all of that comic book action. And so
A fan favorite character.
that didn't surprise me that it made that much. But then for a Joker like this, it's kind of like an indie film, right? The way it's made and all the controversy. A lot of people are like, I've talked to people in real life who are saying like are scared to go watch it, and not just because like outside threats, like the subject matter of the film, like they think it's gonna disturb them, and
It is disturbing.
and it surprises me that all those things considered that it made more money than Deadpool, and it's crazy. It just shows the strength of the comic book genre. Like, whoever thought Deadpool would make almost 800 million?
Well, yeah,
that
for sure.
Joker would make almost 800 million. Venom would make over 800 million. Who would have ever thought that? And it's just crazy to me. I buy this. I think it's awesome.
The fact that Batman is nothing to do with Batman at all. Well, not at all. But
But you know, it's not in the marketing.
he's not in it.
The Batman's not
Batman's
in the
not
marketing.
in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's the surprising part is that obviously there's the ties to Batman and his origin and blah blah blah. But I'm curious. Obviously, if this movie wasn't the Joker, it was just a man going crazy, and
Oh yeah.
it wouldn't.
it wouldn't even have made $100 million.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, that branding, like you said, the comic book. He's probably the most famous comic book villain.
Yeah. So, it's just good for us fans, honestly. It doesn't mean necessarily we're going to get more movies exactly like this.
No, but we'll get more different things.
Exactly.
And
they're going to be willing to take chances more and maybe make more R-rated comic book movies, things like that. All right, next up we have, there's a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie being worked on. It's going to be a reboot, and it's being worked on by the Chernobyl writers, which is
such a weird
kind of interesting to me.
I didn't watch it.
So I actually watched the first episode of Chernobyl, and I couldn't get into it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
I would think would love.
I thought I was, to be honest.
Dark and
I need to go.
gruesome.
I need to go give it another chance. But this is an odd pairing to me. Even not having seen the whole Chernobyl series, this is just really odd to me. So I guess I don't know. I think I sell it because I don't know if I want another Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and I also don't know if they're a great fit to be working on this. Brian?
I loved Chernobyl. It's a weird pairing. I'm gonna say sell because I feel like Pirates of the Caribbean needs to die a little bit. Just like stop, not be made, let people lose interest in it, and bring it back. Like, hey, we're redoing this franchise. Like, people are still gonna think about the other ones. Like, when was the last one done? Like, not that long ago.
2011, I think.
Was it really that long ago?
Oh no, there was another one after that, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah,
something like
right.
that.
It's a few years ago. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it needs to be forgotten a little bit. Kind of like what Disney does with their vault. Like, they put it away, and then people get like super excited for it again when they release it or something. We don't need one right now. And I think the name I keep hearing everywhere is Karen Gillan's attached to it, which should be dope. But I think it needs to go away for a little bit. So I'll sell it for now. And it's every time I see the word Chernobyl with those directors attached to Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm kind of like, what? Like, it's such a weird pairing. I don't know, because that show was dark. It was gruesome. So it's kind of weird to go like Chernobyl, Disney.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay.
Keith?
Okay, so I'm going to take the gauntlet again, and I'm going to snap away any ideas of Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Take a different ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
New theme park thing.
Big Thunder Mountain.
No, one step further than you and just say, no more. Reboots? Why? Why are you rebooting the Pirates? You may as well just make another one. The last one was kind of, I just remembered now, there wasn't the one with...
I didn't mind the last one, to be honest, and
brought back the original.
it actually made a lot of money too.
That's the thing, they keep making a lot of money. So
I think that's the reason why. They're like,
oh, absolutely. They're not gonna
a few dollars more.
Right. They're not gonna let this franchise die.
And is Johnny Depp going to? Because he made an iconic performance.
I wouldn't mind
He's got his own character on the ride.
Right.
If they're gonna remake it, because the first ones are kind of comedy family films almost. I wouldn't mind them making it a little more dark and more like an epic.
Well, hello.
Journey.
That's how it is. They got some really dark directors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, they made it like supernatural type thing with the ghost stuff, and the ride doesn't really. It's not really.
No, it's
not like that. It's just pirates. Yeah.
So do you sell it too?
So I'll sell. Yeah.
Wow, unanimous sell. There you go. All right, so last thing on our buy or sell. So a new Neill Blomkamp movie is coming, and Taylor Kitsch is going to be leading it. And the film is about a cop in New Mexico who investigates a seemingly ordinary murder, only to discover that the predator is an alien monster. So,
it sounds like.
Well, okay.
I actually buy this because as soon as I started reading the synopsis, I knew it wasn't just a straight up regular cop in New Mexico investigating. I knew there was a sci-fi angle to it because it's Neill Blomkamp. Everybody knows about District 9. A lot of people love it. And I didn't like his other films after that, but You don't make a movie like District 9 and then just all your talent goes away. It doesn't happen. I like Taylor Kitsch. This sounds more grounded to me than a Chappie, because Chappie was terrible. So I buy it because I'm rooting for Neill Blomkamp. I don't like a director being in the doghouse. Like
Agreed.
It's not a positive thing unless they deserve it. And I want people to be talking positive about him again. So I buy this, and especially because I really like Taylor Kitsch.
Neill Blomkamp, I buy as well. He's put a lot of great stuff he puts out right on YouTube that people can watch. A lot of shorts that he makes that are really good. Taylor Kitsch, like I said, another guy I'm rooting for. I thought he would have been a great Gambit. They would have kept him. He's probably the best thing in that horrible Wolverine movie.
Yeah, he would have.
And I actually like John Carter. I think it's actually.
I haven't seen
John Carter.
I told me to watch.
John Carter is
I
amazing.
think it's pretty good. It
It's
could
amazing.
have been better,
Yeah.
but anyway. But he's really I like that movie. But so cop in New Mexico investigating ordinary murder to discover the perpetrator is an alien monster. It's Predator 2. That's exactly what that movie is. It's exactly the same thing, except it was Los Angeles and the Daddy Club. But so other than that, I still buy it though because I like to see Neill Blomkamp's take on that kind of a story. So.
Cool. Brian?
I'll buy it because Taylor Kitsch is good in everything he does.
Yeah.
I will buy anything since he was Tim Riggins in Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
I will.
He was good in True Detective Season 2 when the show wasn't that good.
He is such a good actor, and he's kind of another one. They put him in the doghouse after John Carter didn't become the biggest movie of all time.
We're trying to blame Disney for
What is his
that.
fault? Yeah.
I haven't even seen it, but I know that.
Check it out, dude. It's like the best non-Star Wars space epic that we've gotten in a long time.
Valerian wasn't the best.
God.
I haven't seen that. But yeah, no. I did see District 9. I actually really did like that.
It's really good.
Chappie looked like the worst movie I've ever seen, so I avoided that.
I didn't watch that.
Like,
Elysium,
that was good.
Yeah,
I
it's
liked
not
that.
terrible.
I liked that actually. But
It's not terrible.
Taylor Kitsch deserves another chance, and if it's two underdogs,
And especially the way Blomkamp got screwed out doing Aliens. I really want to see his Aliens movie that he was going to do.
This is his.
Maybe got Bigfoot in him.
Maybe this is his alien. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that'd be
going to
cool.
be something different. Yeah. All right. Well, we all buy that. Surprisingly, even though a lot of people, not us, but a lot of people think Neill Blomkamp sucks nowadays, but I'm rooting for him. All right, so last up on the show, what are we looking forward to next week? We have a few new releases and some TV shows, some TV movies as well. We have Terminator Dark Fate coming out this weekend. We have Motherless Brooklyn coming out this weekend. We have Harriet coming out this weekend. And we have Arctic Dogs. You guys know what I'm choosing, Arctic Dogs. And then we have The King releasing on Netflix. And we talk about some TV shows afterwards. Basically, let's do this. If you can only see one of these movies, which one would you be watching? And for me, there's a lot of good stuff on here that I'm looking forward to, but I'm gonna go with The King, to be honest. Last semester in school, I took a Shakespeare's play class, and we read Henry V, and I learned so much about him and the characters surrounding him and all these things. And so there's this character named Falstaff who's kind of like an uncle type character who is like a drunk, but he's a soldier, and he's like a mentor to Henry V when Henry V is rebelling against his father. And then when Henry V becomes king, he kind of shuns Falstaff out of the picture. And Joel Edgerton's playing Falstaff, and Timothy Chalamet's playing Henry V. And I'm curious, are they going to get into those type of things? So even though I'm excited for Terminator, Motherless Brooklyn looks like it can be really good.
Yeah,
I think it looks amazing. I want more movies like that.
Yeah.
And then I'd be interested in seeing Harriet. Arctic Dogs, I'll pass 100%. But I want to see The King for sure.
I knew about The King, but I haven't seen anything about it as far as I know there's a trailer out, right?
Yeah, I haven't even seen a trailer. I just know that it's about Henry V and it's Timothy Chalamet and Joel Edgerton.
Timothy Chalamet intrigues me now that especially
Robert Pattinson's in it too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's some names in there that intrigues me. I thought Terminator Dark Fate looked like the stupidest movie, but people were actually saying that it's actually really good, so that's kind of really piqued my interest in it a little bit more. For me, I want to say Harriet, but I'm gonna go with Terminator only because of people saying
Positive word of mouth lately. Yeah.
If people would have came out like, it's okay.
I want it to be good.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had a good Terminator movie.
If people would have just said like it's okay, I would have been like, no, I'm good. But people were like actually saying it's good, and that's what's making me a little bit more interested. Otherwise, I would go with Harriet because that movie looks badass. I would say
Awesome.
It looks like a good movie.
It does, yeah. All right, Keith.
The King was about Henry VIII. Definitely say that because he was a terrible, terrible person. Anyway, but I would probably go. I'm going to say Terminator because I've been such a Terminator.
I've actually seen that franchise.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. Moses Brooklyn. I think that looks good, but Terminator's the one. And if I know you put TV shows. The thing I'm actually looking forward to the most this week is Jack Ryan.
Is it returning?
Friday. Yes.
Does the whole series come out at once?
Yes.
It's Amazon, right?
I did last night.
I know what I'm doing this
So,
weekend.
yeah. So,
all right, I need to check. I haven't seen the first season
Oh
yet,
my god.
so I need to check it out.
I think you'll like it.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, I mean John Krasinski. That dude is awesome.
Yeah.
Loves that.
Yeah.
I almost went out and started reading the books because it was that good.
Oh, you should.
It's crazy
I
to
was
me
reading when I was like,
how
oh,
many Jack Ryan
Yeah.
movies there are, dude. There's
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
And there's like
so
movies
many
like
books.
movies that I didn't even know that were Jack Ryan movies because
Right.
his name's not in the title.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like Ben Affleck has played him, right?
Affleck, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, that's crazy to
Harrison
me.
Ford.
Yeah, so I need to check that out
Yeah.
from season 1.
Shame on you.
Me, I'm looking forward to the Arrowverse shows as always. I really need to.
really like Watchmen.
Keith, have you been
Yeah,
watching
I
The
can't wait
Good Place, the new season?
No,
Neither have I.
No.
So I'm caught up. I finished season 3.
Okay.
So now I'm behind on season 4, so I have to
Same
wait
here.
till it goes on Netflix or something. Which I don't know how to catch
you
the
don't have
episodes
Hulu?
again. Huh?
You don't have Hulu?
Is it on? Do they? Oh,
They're on Hulu.
I need to get on there.
Yeah.
But Brian, any other TV shows you're looking forward to outside of the Nolan stuff? Yeah, I'll be checking out Watchmen episode 2.
I'm curious if it keeps the level that it kept in the first episode continuously, or if it was like one of those like we're gonna throw the whole entire
I
table
hope
at you on the
I
first
hope
episode.
it gets.
Probably like
I hope it gets to like.
it's HBO.
How is this connecting to actual Watchmen? I just hope it.
See,
gets
I
to
don't.
that.
I don't know enough about Watchmen to kind of like care.
And
that
honestly,
it's-
I don't know if it's not already. You know.
yeah, that's my
But
thing.
I
Like,
wish I'd watched it so I can.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't-
Check it out so you
Yeah.
can tell us,
Yeah.
please,
See,
because
See,
I
that-
want to know.
It's funny because I don't know enough about Watchmen to care if it connects. I just want
Yeah.
a good show.
Well, it-
and the
it-
way
It's a good show so
it-
far.
I
mean,
can't
the
believe
show Doc.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe
I mean, he's in the trailer. He'll pop up.
Well, he was in the show. They showed him literally on Mars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Apocaflix Now. Thank you guys for joining me today. This was so much fun talking movies, talking TV. Again, I am your host, Jacob Bartley. That is Keith Barnes on the right, Brian Avellino on the left. Thank you all for watching. Let us know what you thought of our topics in the comment section. What are you guys looking forward to next week? What do you think about the trailers that we talked about? And who would you like to see get the villain treatment, just like the Joker did? We appreciate everybody. Subscribe, follow if you have not yet. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix Movies, click this video up here. If you want something a little bit different, check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.